This is Summer's Tips and Stitches, and today I have a yarn review. So a bit ago, maybe like 2 weeks ago, I took a few of you, approximately 2,000, to Hobby Lobby, and I was going to buy this yarn. I did buy this yarn. It's called Yarn Bee Rainbow Rhapsody in the colorway Peacock. And the reason I bought this is because I want to say I saw Carla with it, but I can't remember who. Somebody I saw in a video, it's all blurred to me now, had this really thin cotton yarn and they were making something with it. And I thought, wow, that kind of reminds me of Ombre Life. Now currently, I should show you one just for comparison. Okay, so this is the Ombre Life. I love this yarn. One of my dear yarny friends who watch my videos sent me a couple. The one thing I didn't like about the yarn, but it wasn't enough that I didn't like it, that I didn't buy more of it, but this is individual strands, like together. They're not twisted, they're just 4 tiny little threads of a cotton thread held together for a weight 1. Pardon me, weight 2. This is a cotton thread. I lost my end now. I tucked it in here. Oh, and it is really thin, but it's twisted. Now, the reason I like this better is once I had a real rough snarl with that yarn, and the threads all got twisted up with each other, and it was just a nightmare to untangle. And I thought, you know what? I really love the thin cotton thread. I really liked using it. I liked the light fluffy shawl that I was making, that I think I've made 2 with this. I wanted to try this yarn. Also, this kind of reminds me of like the Hobie or the Hobium yarns, where they have all those beautiful cotton colors swirled together. And you can see that it's two different colors for some of the strands. So this starts with a solid black, then it goes like to a black and a purple, then it goes to a purple and a teal, then it goes to purple and a green, then it goes with a dark green and a light green, then it goes light green to brown. I'm actually cutting that brown part out. Kind of a clay tan brown. There are, I want to say, at least 10 to 12 other colorways. I just chose this because I really like purples and blues. And the green looked kind of fun with it. Yeah, so I was only going to buy one. This is $8.99 from Hobby Lobby. I used my 40% off coupon to purchase this because I did not want to pay full price. And it has 918 yards. And they're saying it's a weight 1. But I do feel like it's very comparable to this. This has 437 yards. But I feel like I bought these for a few bucks each. Lion Brand had a sale and I bought a bunch of them. So this was definitely cheaper. Well, I guess if this is double the size, it probably equals out. If you use the coupon, if you're paying full price for this, then this is definitely more than buying 2 of these. Okay, so that's just like the generic scope. Oh, and this is 60% cotton, 40% acrylic. And what was this one? I think this is 100%. Oh no, this is 50% cotton and 50% acrylic. So if you want a little bit more cotton, this one has more. Again, I purchased this at Hobby Lobby. So I, of course, I think I said this in my last video, and making the shaded color shawl. I really love this shawl. It has a nice, I think a real beautiful look to it with those rows, and it has a very easy repeating pattern, although as you can see right here, I made a mistake. I only did 1 row. So my plan is to do 13 of these big chunks, 1 of that, 13 of these, 1 of that. So it's a very simple pattern. I can talk more about that in a yarn chat, because as you can see, I forgot to say, this is a yarn review. I got my little sign up from Cosbox. Okay, so in general, I like the yarn. I have more like for it than dislike. Do I like it as much as this? The only thing that I like more about this yarn than this yarn is that this one is not going to snarl, because this one has those 4 little threads that get caught on each other. So this yarn, I would say, I mean, all yarn, especially if you're a center puller, you're going to have a snarl in the beginning. Let's be real. But in general, as it's coming off the spool, I did an outer pull because I wanted to start with black. It's just been coming off real nicely. It rolls around on the floor because I've not been putting it in a yarn bowl. No snarling. It's not getting caught up on itself. It's not splitting. I haven't had any problem. And I'm just using my 4 clover hook. Even though it calls for a smaller hook, I found that lately my tension is very tight. It could be all that stress in my life. And so I've been having to use a little bit bigger of a hook to get the look I want. So with a clover or more, 0 splitting. It's very smooth. I'm not having any problem. The yarn's not getting caught on itself. It's not splitting apart at all. I like the yarn is a gradual change because it has very tightly spun together strands of different colors and it's mixing them as it goes along. It's a gradual change. You're not going to have a spot anywhere in your shawl where all of a sudden, bam, it changes to teal. It's not going to happen. And that's also what I really like about this yarn. Because I'm kind of a freak about color controlling and I don't like my colors to change mid-row or mid-stitch, I really prefer to use gradual changing yarns. I would say it's so gradual from one color to another that I don't even really see where it's happening. You see that? It's just so beautiful. And because it's taking, like I said here, the black to the purple to the teal, each of that color is incorporated, which I think is what's giving it that real gradual change from one to another. So that is something I really love about this yarn, but I also really love about this yarn, and that I also really love about Mandala, is gradually changing from one color to the other. I love the Caron cakes, but it just drives me nuts when I have a color change right in the middle of a row. I mean, to me, when I look at that, that is immediately what I see. Bam, 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 bam. I just see all those breaks in color. So, and this is Premier Luna. It is not a gradual change. Okay, so what have I said? I like how tightly wound this is because there's no splitting. It's not getting tangled. I like the gradual change from one color to the other. I like overall all the color combos that they put together. This is probably, to me, this is so weird, you guys, but you'll expect this from me. I like this all the way up until the green, and this, I don't like this in here at all. But out of the colors, I love this kind of color combo the most. All the other color combos I liked and were very pleasant. There was rainbows. I can put a link in the description to my previous video where I show them all. And so how am I saying this? I like these color combos more together. These are my favorite look than this icky little cream gray tan in the middle, so that I'm willing to cut that bit out and my shawl will only be made out of these colors here. But all the other color combos were really nice. They really were. I just really love purple and aqua together. And that kind of a green, that purple and green together. It's coming up right here. I really love these colors. So I loved all the color choices. There's a variety. There's the fall looking colors. There's the rainbow colors. There's the bright. There's pinks and purples and all kinds. So I'll put a link in the description below to the video when I purchase this so you can see that they do have a nice variety of multicolored cakes. Now, this is the one bad thing that I have to say about this yarn. Aside from the fact that I do think $8.99 is a little much, but use your coupon. In one section, and I want to make sure I'm on the right side so you can see, right here, in between these next like 3 rows, I had 3 knots. Now, I've said it before, I generally am not very whiny when they have to knot together 2 strands of yarn to continue. It happens. I mean, for the most part, these are made by machines. You only can get the yarn to go so long before you have to put it in with another color. I get it. But I feel like in one color pass, and it had to have been in, let me see where it is on the aqua to purple. this section right here, there were three knotted sections. And I have had other yarns that were very careful and had nice, small, little knots to where you could crochet over it and it didn't matter. Here they had tails and it was unsightly. And to have 3 in a row, like I barely did half a row and I got another one. So that kind of bothered me. Now, if there's 3 through a whole cake, beginning, middle, and end, or 1 or 2, that's not bad. But in one color section, 3, I was getting agitated. So, I mean, it happens. It happens in the best of them. I've heard people complain about that in Karen cakes, mandala cakes. I actually don't think I had any in here because you know what I think they did? Because you're working with 4 very thin strands of yarn, I think they must have glued like the little thread in one section and then had 3 solids. The way they overlapped it, you never felt like you had a knotted section like in here. So there were 3 literally within crocheting 2 rows of itself. I had 3 of them and I was frustrated. Plus I didn't have any scissors with me because I was feeling like I was crocheting this on the way to and from a teacher convention. And so I had to like rip it apart. Now, plus size is this yarn is very sturdy. It took a lot of strength for me to rip out that knot. So I will say there's been times when I've been very easily been able to rip out a knot, which is why I usually do it. I usually will rip out a knot rather than just crochet over it because I would hate to have like a kid tugging on it or get caught on a door handle or something and pull and then break apart and rip up my whole shawl. So, I mean, it was very hard for me to get the knot out without scissors. But yeah, there was 3 in a row, and that was the only negative thing that I could find about this yarn is that you know, that was there. Now I will say it is a very nice light drape to it, and it flows really well with this, you know, this pattern. The other thing is that it actually is a pretty warm fabric. I was very surprised by that, especially with it being so holey. Because I was on the bus, and I was sitting in the very front of this, like, little shuttle bus. You know, those ones you take for, like, we drove as a whole school in these little shuttle buses. And I was up by the front where the door was, so there was a lot of air in there. And I just, like, draped this over my legs and crocheted, and it actually did, you know, it was a nice little barrier to that windy breeze. And in Wisconsin, we're already down to low 40s, high 30s. So I definitely think that it was a warm enough fabric to lay over my legs, you know, to keep me a little protected by the chill. So yeah, that is this yarn. I don't know if I would buy it again for another one, like, because so far these yarns, these nice little thin cottons, I've been making this shaded color shawl. I have enough to do 2 more. I think I have, no, maybe 3, a purple, a blue, and a red, or maybe a purple and a red. And then I was going to make one. I'm going to end up doing 2 of these. And this is the reason. I used 3 of these to make a shawl, I believe. Yes, because I used a solid. So I use about 3 of these. And that is, how many yards did I say was in here? 437. So that's 1,200 yards. And so with this being 900, this one is going to be a little bigger. But I am cutting out this icky, unsightly middle part. I'm going to cut out to where the green and the gray mix. And I'll do something else with that. But I'm going to do them in the reversal. So this one started with the black, purple, teal, purple. Then I'm going to pull out that icky part I don't want. And then I'm going to start with the other so it goes out. But yeah, that is all I have to say about Yarn Bee's Rainbow Rhapsody Peacock. It is a cotton acrylic blend, size 1. But I don't know. This one says it's a size 2, and I feel like it's finer. Tightly twisted. Multi-strand. I want to say there's probably 2 strands in here. Tightly twisted. Cotton yarn. This is Peacock. I really am enjoying it. It's just there's too many knots in that one cake. It'll be interesting to see how many come out of this one. Maybe that's the one bum cake. I picked up the one bad one. Like that Lion brand cotton, that comfy cotton that I bought. This is thinner than the comfy cotton. that one, when I was crocheting with it, it kept unraveling the whole time. And it wasn't tight enough twisted, and so it was getting all unraveled. So that is all I have to say about this yarn. Buy it, but use your 40% off coupon. Because $8.99 is a little much, I think, unless you're buying merino superwash wool, right? That's only when I'm going to spend that much money, not for cotton and acrylic. Okay, well, thanks for watching and subscribing. Thanks for liking and sharing my videos. And until then, happy crafting. Bye.